you know, how much money it costs to send stuff up there. Don't tell. It's actually all legal, okay? But you can argue about how much it costs to do experiments up there. But you know, the fact is, we're doing things that just can't be done down here. It's things in the field of combustion. It's a lot more controlled process up there, where everything happens a little bit slower, where those gases aren't rising and your fuel is rushing in, and measurements that get made over within a second down here on the ground. You have to figure out the slope of a line, make a couple measurements in less than a second down here on the ground. We make those measurements over 30 or 40 seconds. So learning about how things burn, how to burn things in a way that is more soot-free, how to control soot production. So a lot of pollution implications. There's some vaccines that are being developed for things like salmonella that should be coming to market soon, where it just turns out that viruses behave differently up there. And if you wanted to make the cure for a virus, it's like knowing that you need to look at one little part of spaghetti, okay, and to understand that structure. And if you understood that structure, you could design a drug that exactly fit that, and you could prevent that disease or cure that disease. And the problem is that the entire big bunch of spaghetti is actually like the length of this ship. And you don't know which part of the spaghetti you need to actually look at and analyze the structure. Well, up there, that active part is really active, much more active than here on the ground. And so instead of having to analyze a whole entire room full of spaghetti, we only have to analyze, you know, a tiny neighborhood. And so it really helps focus some research here on the ground. So I could give you lots of stories about the kinds of things, but one of the things I think that we have in common is how special it is, that the view from up there and the feeling that you have when you're looking out and you're doing something that not many people get to do, and you're feeling something that not many people get to feel. And with the Elissa, I mean, there was people doing this. So 1877, we can do the math, but more than 200 years ago. So I mean, it's amazing, and they were in the fact that we go in seconds over places that took them. I think it's pretty amazing, and so I don't know. So there's something really appealing to me about the combination of the old and the new, because I think we need to honor the old. I mean, I think we need to learn from it, and we need to think back to who we all were when things were being done in that way, and realize that we're still the same. So when people talk about the end of the space program, good luck. You're going to keep people from doing things like this? Are you going to keep people from deciding they want to go and see what is over there? It's just not going to happen. People are going to explore. But on the days when that is hard to remember, you can look at this little piece of the plaque and remember that sometimes impossibly wild and fantastic things can happen. And a little piece of wood that came from right here went 53 million miles and a couple thousand times around the Earth. So if you do forget that, we have ways to remind you. I'm a loser of things, so I've been terrified. I made Teresa and Devin take the piece of wood as soon as I could find it, because I just didn't want to use it. And it's actually the hardest thing about working up there on the space station is that, I mean, you let go of something, it doesn't drop to the deck and hit your buddy, and that's good, okay? You let go, and it could be gone forever, okay? Because things just float around. Everything floats around. And for me, who can lose the remote control twice in one night easily, it's a really hard place. So we have this one that kind of just shows a little bit of the grandness of the space station, the supply ship that we caught, the space shuttle that actually brought your piece of the Elissa back home. And it has an inscription that is actually going to get changed because it turns out that the numbers were wrong on there, so a new one's going to get pasted on the top there. Sorry about that. And there's a picture of Scott Kelly. There were 6 of us that were up there, and some of you will hear more about this when we do slides. I know not everybody can stay. But I was up there with Scott Kelly. He's the brother of Mark Kelly with Gabriella Gifford, so we were actually up there during that time. And so it was a really sort of interesting and personal time to be up there. And Scott actually helped me take this picture, which is a picture of me with giant hair. And it's got the Elissa and the Earth in the background, and I'm up in our window module, which is right up there on the space station. So hopefully these things will remind you when the going gets tough, and not enough people know that this is an amazing ship, and that you need their support to help sailing her, help her keep her sailing, and also keep her maintained, and it's important to do. Go look at the pictures and be inspired, hopefully. And thanks for having me today. It was terrifying to do that.